What's on your playlist right now?
In my class.
Go to guilty pleasure food.
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Hi, my name is Ahmed Eltayeb. I'm an undergraduate student at UC Davis, majoring in computer science and a minor in economics. I joined UC Davis in 2023 as a transfer student and have since immersed myself in various activities that blend in technology and community engagement. I founded 5% Studios, a platform dedicated to showing the experience of Black students at UC Davis through multimedia storytelling aiming to foster community and representation. Additionally, I serve as the Director of Communication for the Associate Student University of California, Davis, where I manage campus-wide social media strategy. My passion lies at the intersection of technology, social media, and storytelling, and I am committed to use these tools to create impactful content that enhances our campus community.
Welcome to Face to Face, Ahmed.
Nice to meet you. It's an honor.
It's great to have you. Usually, you've been interviewing me for the past several times we've met.
Sir.
Now we're flipping the script a bit, and I'm going to interview you.
Sounds
I
good.
hope you're up for it.
Yes, sir.
Good. Just to start things off, I know that you're interested in the stories about the Black student experience here at UC Davis.
Yes, sir.
Tell me more about some of those stories you've heard and you've been telling. Tell me about 5% Studios and how that got started and the magazine Rooted, all of that. I want to hear about it.
Yeah, sounds good. So as you've seen from the intro, I came as a transfer student from Oakland in Laney College. And then after that, when I came to UC Davis, I chose UC Davis, to be honest, because I feel like it's more of like a family. It's not just like an education system. It's more of like a family. And I did my research on like a lot of the schools. UC Davis just resigned with me. And as soon as I came for the first orientation and it says you belong here, that thing stick with me a lot. So I was like, you know what? I do belong here and I want to make an impactful voice. That's why I created 5% Studios. It's literally on my mission statement is about representing the unrepresented. So like, as you know, less than 5% of Black people here in UC Davis. And that's why hence the name, 5% Studios. So I'm just trying to showcase like the Black people and I'm trying to put Davis on the map. Because every time I go on YouTube, I go on Instagram, I go on TikTok, whatever it is, I don't see as much of like Black content here as much as possible. And I know that like there's people that have voices and I need to make sure like these voices are heard. That's why I started 5% Studios. And with Rooted, I'm not part of Rooted, but I'm like affiliated with Rooted to my friend named Now. And Nile is also part of 5% Studios. So he brought me on this project called What Means the Most to You as a TV series. And Rooted is a Black magazine here at UC Davis that's created by Nyla. So I joined because I still feel honored because he brought me in as the first person on the show to speak about what means the most to me. And I spoke about my faith. And that resonated with a lot of people at UC Davis. And every time I go around, they'd be like, wow, you're actually like, this means a lot to me. And like faith is very important in my life. And that's what pushes me. And I did not know like how big of an impact it made on a lot of people. I just did it because I just want to like show people that like having a faith and just having a story to tell means a lot. And that just impacted like a lot of people. And so that's why like I want to keep doing stuff like that impacts people and be inspired, let's just be inspired.
I can relate to much of what you said. I also consider myself a spiritual person, a person of faith.
Yes,
and so that's very important and what drives me too. I will say that I'm glad that you came to UC Davis now because when I was started here in 2017, 5% Studios would be 2% Studios.
Oh, yes.
we have made some progress in the
yes.
in the 7 years, and hopefully the number keeps going up.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about why amplifying Black voices and building community, why that's important to you and why it's important to all of us.
Building the community that's what keeps us together, and that's what pushes us forward. Like if we keep doing individual stuff, then how are we gonna go far? Like building a community means like we're building a family, we're building spiritual, and then we're connecting people from around the world. So like I'm Sudanese, so I bring my culture to whatever American to Nigerians. Like I connect with everybody. We need to connect because towards the end, and Islam is like we connect. We are one towards the end. Like we need to all go together and grow up together as a team. Because if you want to go far, go by yourself. Now, I mean, like if you want to go fast, go by yourself. But if you need to go like ahead and like keep going, go with a team. And that's like building a community means a lot to me because everybody could respect each other. Everybody could like learn like from each different like cultures, you know, and they can like push forward with whatever the goal is. I hope that answered the question.
It does. That's actually one of my favorite proverbs. If you want to go far,
Yes, sir.
Go with others. You and I have something in common. We are both members of the National Society of Black Engineers.
Go Nesby.
I'm a lifetime member. I was former national chair and former chair of the National Advisory Board. So I'm really excited that you're involved with that organization as well. What has been the most valuable aspect of your involvement with NSB so far?
So far, before like coming to UC Davis, I used to, for the past 3 years, I've been going to NSB, National Society of Black Engineers. So I've been a member because it gives you it gives me an alternative eye that like I can get connects with these big tech companies, because as you know, being a person in color, it's very difficult like to reach out to these tech companies. So having NSB around, actually, at first I did not know what NSB was about. It was one of my cousins that told me about it. He was like, you got to go to, his name is Khalid. He told me, like, hey, go to NSB and you'll get the opportunities. Like a person like you, that especially in the tech world, it's very difficult for like a color person to get the position. So there's something called NSB. Go to NSB and get these connect. The first year that I went, I was just there just to see what is NSB is about. And I got to learn from there and ask people from there, okay, what is NSB about? I started networking first. Because at first, like, I didn't have no resume. I didn't even know what a resume was. And I didn't know, like, how to build up, like, my professional standards to, like, company kind of level. So the first NSB, I was just networking with people. Second NSB, I had a little bit of understanding what NSB is about. So I went there with the school and started, like, networking. Through my network, I got a couple interviews with Boeing and SpaceX. Because now I know how to, like, talk to recruiters especially and how to keep that, building up that relationship. Third time, that's when I went to Atlanta, Georgia, and that's when I met you, and I went with the whole school. It just, NSB is the best thing ever for, how can I say it? It's like the best thing for somebody that's in STEM to go there and explore, just to network. Even if you don't get a job opportunity, just go network, because your network is your net worth. That's what I came to realize. Your network is your net worth. Like, you got to just talk to people. Okay, what do you do? What do you do? Tell me about your story. Tell me about this. Why did you join NSB? That's why, like, I just love NSB, connecting with other people.
Yeah, the NSB folks are going to use this interview as a testimonial on their channels, I'm sure. But
100%.
That your net worth is your network is your net worth. I like that saying as well. I'm going to use that. And there's a couple of other benefits that you didn't mention. One is my wife and I, Miss May, we met through NSB, so that's another side benefit that you might take advantage of at some point or not.
Yes.
The other one is mentoring. I think mentoring is so important.
That's true.
And, former Surgeon General Joycelyn Elder said, you can't be what you can't see. So maybe let's talk about mentoring, and if you've ever personally benefited from mentoring, or if you've mentored some younger students, maybe some high school students yourself.
Yes, I did mentor, actually, a lot of my family members that were upcoming, and I did try to, like, mentor them. The first thing that I always say is do everything with an open heart and always be grateful. Always be grateful, because being nice goes a very long way. Being nice does go a very long way. That's first rule that I always set with everybody that I'm mentoring. Be nice and do everything with a grateful heart, because you don't know what that person has.
Very true. Very true. People may not always agree with you, but you should be able to be nice to them, and they should be able to say, I met a nice person, even though I didn't necessarily vibe with them. So
exactly.
So you're a computer science major.
Yes, sir.
What kind of technologies are you interested in? What are you excited about? How are you preparing for your future career in computer science?
I'm interested in AI, artificial intelligence. The main reason I'm interested in AI because it's just every time I see new technology, because I've been a nerd for a nerd for AI for a very long time. I just get impressed by technology. And since I was a little kid, I'm always like taking my mom's phone and just like tearing it apart, seeing about what the technology is about. And I was so surprised, like when the first iPod came out, I was like, wow, this is digital. And so like my mom always see that, like when I was young, like I always had a different eye, like a different perspective on like anything. The main reason like I want to do AI now, because I want to help the world. Because there's two ways of AI. It could be like helpful to the world and it could be harmful to the world. I'm trying to do AI to help the world. Like in case when it comes to like either car technology or like phone technology or just making it easy, especially for disability. like disability people. I want to help them like how could AI help them as much as possible. And then at the same time, like help AI in third world countries, like my country, Sudan, like help other countries that don't have that technology, help them like either in like the medical field, it can be just like in mechanical, it could be whatever form of way. I'm just trying to do AI to help them as much as possible and beneficial.
Yeah, we'll keep that motivation and keep that drive because,
Yes,
you know,
sir.
the nerds will inherit the earth, is my saying. We have a little tradition that we do on Face-to-Face. We call it Hot Seat.
Yes, sir.
And what that means is I will ask you several rapid-fire questions, and I'm just looking for a very short answer, one word, one sentence
Yes, sir.
sort of answer. So you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Who would you most like to meet, alive or not?
It would probably be my mother. Yeah, it would probably be my mother.
Tell me about that.
Hey, Mom, if you see this, I love you. Well, whatever, which camera. I love you, Mom. It's my mother. My mother has been my best friend, and she's just been my world for everything. She supports me through everything that I'm doing right now, and it's definitely also my family too. But it's just like mostly like my mother because she believes in me. And when I came here at 17 years old in America, no guidance, no nothing, she was there to support me. She's still back home in Sudan, but due to the war, she moved to Egypt.
Okay.
But like she's always been there for me and like always support me in every decision that I do. And I just love you, Mom. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. You know, I was very close to my mother.
Yes,
passed
sir.
away
Yeah.
a couple
May she
months
rest in
ago,
peace.
and we were very, very close. So I can relate to that as well.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what's been your favorite class you've had at UC Davis?
Favorite class? To be honest, all my classes are favorite. Like it's just you learn something new from professors every single time. Like I can't pinpoint which classes specifically, but all my classes has just been learning curve. Like it's been just new and just like learning and then talking to professors about their research, about everything in general. I just feel interested. I just feel like every time I go, I'll be like, wow, like this is nice.
So I'll tell all our CS faculty, all your classes are great.
Oh yes,
I'm
all
gonna
my
say
classes
so.
are great. All my classes are great.
Okay. Favorite hobby?
Photography.
I was going to say photography. That's how
Photography
we
and
met, right?
videography. Yeah, that's why 5%.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Best spot for coffee, boba, or tea?
You know, I'm not really a coffee person or a tea person, neither a boba.
No? Okay.
Nothing.
What's your drink of choice?
Water.
Water? Okay.
Drink your water, guys. Drink your water.
You will stay healthy.
Yeah, it's just strictly water.
Okay, my favorite question, I ask this of every guest.
Yes, sir.
What artists or songs on your playlist right now?
Okay, so it's a Sudanese artist.
Okay.
His name is Mohammed Elamin. He passed away. But my favorite song by him is called The Letter of Your Name. It's called Huruf Ismik. That's my favorite song about him. But if we were talking about like in American, probably my favorite artist is Reach Justice. And he's actually a student here at UC Davis. And my favorite song by him is Drowning in Tears.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
I have not heard his music yet. I'm going to look for it, though.
Oh, yeah. I'll definitely send you some, too.
Send me a link, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then if it's like outside in the hip-hop world, J. Cole.
J. Cole, all right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, my daughter likes J. Cole.
What's your favorite?
I'm a Stevie Wonder fan. I'm old school. You know, he's been my favorite artist since I was your age, you know.
Do you listen to Usher?
I've had a few Usher songs. We have a good family friend who's one of Usher's dancers. So we've been to an Usher concert recently and maybe going again, actually. Usher's from Atlanta.
No, invite me to.
Where we used to live. So
Yeah.
my daughter has met, my youngest daughter has met Usher.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Okay, that's my questions. Any questions you want to ask me?
Yes, sir, I do. So one of the questions is about that I want to ask you is that how do you think social media has influenced the conversation around racism, and what role do you believe it plays in both combining and sustaining racial issues, and how do you manage racism in your role as well?
Yeah, all great questions. Social media is really been a transformative technology for our society, but it's a double-edged sword because you can say anything you want anytime to any audience, and that's the good news. It democratizes communication, but the bad news is you can say anything you want at any time to any audience.
Yes, sir.
So it's not regulated. So a lot of things that people say on social media are more negative than they need to be. And with respect to race, that's true because I think people are in their silos, in their boxes. With their own communities, talking to each other, and then some have particular opinions about race, and then there's another group that's inside their silo talking to each other, and they're not necessarily talking across boundaries and having good communication that will help society get better. So that's one of the downsides. But I use social media. You know that. And I think it can be a positive tool that can be beneficial if used with the constructive objectives in mind. So.
And how do you view racism in your role? You as a chancellor so far?
I think one of the misconceptions I think people have is that when you get to a certain level, racism is no longer a factor. But I like to remind people that if I'm at a traffic stop or whatever, I'm not viewed or known as a chancellor or somebody with a PhD. I'm just a black man like you are, and I'm affected by racism just like everyone else. So one of my strong high priorities throughout my life has been to fight racism any way I can and however I can. That's sort of been, in addition to my research interests and other things that I do professionally, that's been my motivation for, and will continue to be until it's no longer an issue. So.
Okay, 100%. And then my second question would be what advice you want to give to somebody who wants to stand out and excel in a competitive environment? For you, example.
I think the most important thing is to find your passion and follow it. I think you're never really going to be successful doing something you don't enjoy doing. It'll be like drudgery, and you'll never really be able to realize your full potential doing it. So, identify that passion and just follow it to the end, as long as you can.
That's very good, actually. I agree with you on that. Follow what you love and you do, and do it always with a grateful heart.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%. And so to conclude this, what advice you want to give me for starting my own 5% Studios company?
Well, I think a big part of success is failure, and learning how to fail and learning from failure. So I think anyone who you find who's been successful, they'll tell you they've had many bad ideas that didn't work, but they were able to get past those, learn from those, and apply what they learned and get better. So I think with 5% or anything else that you're going to be doing, recognize you won't get it right every time, but use those failures to make your ultimate objectives occur. So
okay. Thank you very much for this advice, because I'd be asking a lot of mentors and people ahead of me, but it's very scary at first, because I failed many times in order to get this. Because before starting actually 5%, I had many companies before that, and I kept trying and learning from my best. But it's reached a certain point where you need advice on, and especially a person like you, you're UC Davis Chancellor, and you'd met through a lot of difficulties, and you just ramp up. So how do you manage that?
Well, the other part of it is we talked about it before, finding a mentor. Mentorship is so important. Anybody who's been successful, they do these surveys of Fortune 500 CEOs and others, and they'll tell you what's been most pivotal in their own success, their own pathway, has been having a mentor or a sponsor to help them get where they are. So that would be my other piece of advice. So do both of those things.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, Chancellor.
And I have a lot of confidence that you will be successful.
Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. Yeah. And shout out 5% Studios, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You always got to be branding, right?
And shout out 5% Studios.
Where's my T-shirt?
Coming soon. Okay. Coming soon. Merch coming soon. Shout out to my team, but they're coming soon.
All right, I'll be looking forward. And
100%.
I want to just thank everyone for watching. Me and Ahmed have this conversation. We'll see you next time on Face to Face. Go Ags.